The new BMW M5 has been revealed, and before we get into the nitty gritty, let's get some headline stats. The new M5 has 727 horsepower and 1000 Nm of torque. That's a 16% increase over the outgoing F90. And when you consider the increase between the F10 and the F90 was only 4%, we're talking very serious numbers. But how does this compare to the competition? Well, the Audi RS6 Performance delivers 621 horsepower, but it is worth bearing in mind when that car is due for replacement. The Cadillac CT5 Blackwing, and I know we don't get it in the UK, has 668 horsepower, while the new Mercedes-Benz E53 has 612 horsepower. However, the E53 isn't a full-fledged E63, and knowing the percentage power difference between the W213 generation of the E-Class, my maths suggests that the E63 will have 820 horsepower. So, the new M5 is the most powerful in the class, but I don't think it will be that for long. The new M5 also tops out at 189 miles per hour if you opt for the M Drivers Pack. There is one stat which isn't quite as good though, and that's the fact that the M5 weighs a full half a tonne more than the outgoing F90 M5. Although the power is up by quite a margin, the power to weight ratio is only 299 horsepower per tonne. The F90 has a 335 horsepower per tonne power to weight ratio, and there's one stat that has taken a hit because of this. 0 to 60 in 3.5 seconds sounds good in isolation, however this is 0.2 seconds slower than the F90. There are no surprises on why the weight has increased so dramatically, and it's all because of the hybrid gubbins. However, there is something which sets this hybrid up differently to other hybrids, and that's because the 18.6 kWh battery fitted to the M5 is good for an electric range of 43 miles, which BMW say is class leading. What an M5 has always been about though is the way it drives, and the new G90 generation, despite being a plug-in hybrid, can still be switched to two-wheel drive rear-wheel drive mode. BMW say the four-wheel drive sport mode also makes the M5 have a pronounced rear bias setup. There's active rear steering which turns the rear wheels by 1.5 degrees, and it's interesting to know that on BMW's own press material they don't mention the manoeuvrability at all, just the handling benefits. There's also a host of other adaptations for the M5, and hopefully they can compensate for the monumental increase in weight. Now it's time to bring up the controversial topic of styling, and I think the rear looks great. It's classy, it's muscular and distinctly BMW. The side profile is also good. My only complaint is that the angle between the bottom of the door and the side skirt is a bit too angular. It's not great when it doesn't quite merge with the rest of the bodywork on the side. The front is not great, it's passable I'd say. It looks like it's melted somewhat and the headlights extend too far back into the bodywork. I'm not sure if EU regulations are because of this. The other thing I really hate, and it is ghastly, is the illuminated grille, and I don't think it's ever going to grow on me. On the inside there's a new M5 specific steering wheel and multifunctional seats which look great I must add, and there's also a head-up display which is standard this time and includes M specific functions. Some of the optional extras include a carbon exterior pack, but it's worth noting that the diffuser is not in carbon, that's just in black. The Alcantara headlining is an optional extra, and you can even get a tow bar on the new M5. Perhaps the most shocking thing about the new M5 though is its price. It's only £2,000 more than the outgoing model, so that's £110,000 a win. However, tell me in the comments what you'd rather have, an old F90 or the new G90, and bear in mind they're pretty much the same price. Also, please do subscribe if you haven't already, and do feel free to comment, as long as it's not about the weight of the car. I can already see those comments coming in.